A submerged electrical panel that remains energized presents a very dangerous situation. There are several possible explanations why the circuit breakers fail to trip during the flooding. Firstly, defective circuit breakers are a primary concern. If the circuit breakers were faulty or damaged prior to, or by, the water exposure, they might not have functioned as intended and failed to trip, leaving the panel energized. Secondly, it is possible the circuit breakers were accidentally reset after the water receded, unknowingly restoring power to the panel. This highlights the need to always de-energize the panel when encountering this scenario. Thirdly, ground fault circuit interrupter, or GFCI protection, may not have been present or functioning correctly. While not designed to protect the entire panel, GFCI outlets, if installed and working, might have tripped and cut off power to some circuits before the water reached the panel. However, they would not protect all circuits. Fourthly, the water level itself might not have reached the actual tripping mechanism of the circuit breakers. If the critical component remained above the water line, the breakers would not have been triggered. Fifthly, improper wiring within the electrical system is a significant concern. The electrical wiring might not have been installed correctly, potentially bypassing the circuit breakers or creating a ground fault condition that didn't draw enough current to trip the breakers. Addressing the concerns and implications is of paramount importance. An energized electrical panel submerged in water constitutes a significant electrical safety hazard. It carries the risk of electrical shocks, potential fires, and even electrocution. The water damage sustained by the electrical panel and any connected appliances can lead to long-term performance issues and pose ongoing safety concerns. Building codes generally mandate that electrical panels be protected from moisture and flooding. Failure to adhere to these codes can result in fines or expose one to legal liabilities. Recommended actions are crucial in mitigating these risks. The immediate safety measure is to disconnect the main power supply to the panel. This step should be taken before approaching the panel. Engage a qualified electrician to assess and repair the electrical panel. A licensed electrician can thoroughly inspect the panel to ensure it is safe and functioning correctly. Code compliance is essential. Ensure that the electrical wiring and installation meet all applicable building codes and safety standards to guarantee the safety and functionality of the electrical system. Flood prevention strategies should be implemented to mitigate the risk of future flooding. Install sump pumps, backflow preventers, and consider elevating electrical components to minimize potential water damage. When dealing with a flooded electrical panel, several factors could explain why the circuit breakers did not trip. These factors include defective breakers, accidental resets, absent or malfunctioning GFCI protection, insufficient water level contact, and improper wiring. The implications of a hot panel in water are severe, ranging from electrical hazards to property damage and code violations. Always prioritize safety by disconnecting power, seeking professional inspection and repairs, ensuring code compliance, and implementing flood prevention measures to safeguard against future incidents. Electrical panels are designed to distribute electricity safely throughout a building. They house circuit breakers, which are protective devices designed to trip and cut off power to a circuit in the event of an overload or short circuit. This prevents overheating, fires, and electrical shocks. When an electrical panel is submerged in water, the water can create a conductive path between electrical components, potentially leading to short circuits and ground faults. In a properly functioning electrical system, these events should cause the circuit breakers to trip, energizing the affected circuits and preventing further hazards. However, in the scenario described, several factors could have prevented the circuit breakers from tripping. Firstly, defective circuit breakers are a common cause of breaker failure. Circuit breakers are mechanical devices that can degrade over time or become damaged due to repeated use or exposure to harsh conditions. If a circuit breaker is faulty, it may not trip even when exposed to an overload or short circuit. This can be due to a variety of reasons, such as a weakened spring mechanism, corrosion on the contacts, or internal damage to the tripping mechanism. Secondly, the sensitivity of the circuit breakers could be a factor. Circuit breakers are designed to trip at a specific current level. If the fault current caused by the water is below this level, the breaker may not trip. This can happen if the water has high resistance, limiting the amount of current that can flow through it. Additionally, the type of circuit breaker can affect its sensitivity. Standard thermomagnetic circuit breakers may be less sensitive to ground faults than ground fault circuit interrupters, or GFCIs. Thirdly, the presence of a ground fault path could influence breaker tripping. A ground fault occurs when an electrical current flows from a live conductor to ground. In a properly grounded electrical system, this should cause a large current to flow, tripping the circuit breaker. However, if the grounding system is inadequate or if there is a high resistance path to ground, the fault current may be too low to trip the breaker. Additionally, if there are multiple ground faults in the system, they may cancel each other out, preventing the breaker from tripping. Fourthly, the type of wiring used in the basement can play a role. If the wiring is old or damaged, the insulation may be compromised, allowing water to come into direct contact with the conductors. This can create a low resistance path to ground, increasing the risk of electrical shock. Additionally, if the wiring is not properly secured, it may move around in the water, increasing the likelihood of a short circuit. Fifthly, the age and condition of the electrical panel itself can affect its performance. Over time, the electrical panels can corrode, rust, and accumulate dirt and debris. This can interfere with the operation of the circuit breakers and other components. Additionally, if the panel is not properly sealed, water can enter and damage the internal components, further reducing its effectiveness. If the circuit breakers did not trip when the panel was submerged, there are several actions that should be taken immediately. Firstly, do not approach the panel or attempt to touch anything in the water. The water may be energized and could cause a fatal electrical shock. Secondly, call a qualified electrician immediately. An electrician can safely disconnect the power to the panel and assess the damage. Thirdly, do not attempt to turn off the power at the main breaker yourself. The main breaker may be located in the flooded basement and could be dangerous to access. Fourthly, wait for the electrician to arrive and follow their instructions. They will be able to safely inspect the panel and determine the best course of action. Once the electrician has arrived, they will likely take the following steps. Firstly, they will disconnect the power to the panel at the main breaker or meter. This will ensure that the panel is no longer energized and is safe to work on. Secondly, they will inspect the panel for damage. This will include checking the circuit breaker's wiring and other components for signs of corrosion, rust, or water damage. Thirdly, they will test the circuit breakers to ensure that they are functioning properly. This will involve using a circuit breaker tester to simulate an overload or short circuit and verify that the breaker trips. Fourthly, they will replace any damaged or faulty components. This may include replacing circuit breakers, wiring, or the entire electrical panel. Fifthly, they will ensure that the panel is properly grounded. This is essential for preventing electrical shocks and ensuring that the circuit breakers trip in the event of a fault. Sixthly, they will ensure that the panel is properly sealed to prevent water from entering in the future. This may involve applying sealant around the panel or installing a waterproof cover. After the electrician has completed the repairs, it is important to take steps to prevent future flooding. This may include installing a sump pump, improving drainage around the house, or elevating the electrical panel above the flood line. Additionally, it is important to have the electrical panel inspected regularly by a qualified electrician to ensure that it is in good working condition. Electrical panels are crucial components of a building's electrical system. When subjected to flooding, their malfunction, particularly the failure of circuit breakers to trip, can lead to severe hazards. There are several key explanations for this failure. One significant reason is the presence of defective circuit breakers. These devices, designed to interrupt current flow during overloads or short circuits, can degrade over time due to mechanical wear, corrosion, or previous electrical events. A defective breaker may not respond correctly to a fault, leaving the circuit energized despite the dangerous condition. Another explanation is the possibility of a low fault current. Circuit breakers are calibrated to trip at specific current thresholds. If the water's resistance is high or the path to ground is not sufficiently conductive, the resulting fault current might be too low to activate the breaker's tripping mechanism. This is especially concerning in older installations where grounding systems may be inadequate. The absence of ground fault circuit interrupters, or GFCIs, is also relevant. While standard circuit breakers protect against overloads and short circuits, GFCIs are specifically designed to detect ground faults, which are common in wet environments. If the flooded area lacked GFCI protection, ground faults may have gone undetected, preventing the breakers from tripping. The height of the water relative to the breaker mechanisms also plays a role. If the water level did not reach the critical components of the circuit breakers, they would not be directly affected and might continue to function normally, even though the panel is submerged. This underscores the importance of elevating electrical equipment in flood-prone areas. Improper wiring practices can also contribute to the problem. If the electrical system was not wired correctly, it could create pathways that bypass the circuit breakers or result in ground faults that do not draw enough current to trip the breakers. This is particularly dangerous as it can create hidden hazards that are difficult to detect. The consequences of a submerged, energized electrical panel are severe. It presents an immediate risk of electrical shock to anyone who comes into contact with the water or the panel itself. Additionally, it can cause significant damage to electrical appliances and equipment connected to the panel, leading to costly repairs or replacement. Furthermore, such a situation often violates building codes, potentially resulting in fines and legal liabilities. In the event of a flooded electrical panel that remains energized, immediate safety measures are crucial. Firstly, do not approach the panel or touch the water. Assume that everything is energized and dangerous. Secondly, disconnect the main power supply to the panel, if it is safe to do so. This might involve shutting off the main breaker outside the flooded area or contacting the utility company to cut off power to the building. Thirdly, contact a qualified electrician to assess the damage and make necessary repairs. Do not attempt to work on the panel yourself, as this could be extremely dangerous. The electrician will inspect the panel, test the circuit breakers, and replace any damaged components. They will also ensure that the panel is properly grounded and sealed to prevent future water damage. In addition to immediate repairs, it is important to take steps to prevent future flooding. This might involve installing a sump pump, improving drainage around a building, or elevating the electrical panel above the flood line. Regular inspections of the electrical system can also help identify potential problems before they lead to a dangerous situation. Prevention is key to mitigating the risks associated with flooding and electrical panels. By taking proactive measures to protect electrical equipment and ensuring that the electrical system is properly installed and maintained, it is possible to minimize the risk of electrical hazards in flood-prone areas. A submerged electrical panel where breakers fail to trip is a serious safety hazard. Understanding the potential causes, recognizing the implications, and taking immediate action are crucial steps in mitigating the risks and preventing future incidents. Engaging qualified professionals and implementing preventive measures are essential for ensuring the safety and reliability of electrical systems in flood-prone environments. Electrical safety should always be a top priority, especially in situations involving water and electricity. When a basement floods and submerges an electrical panel, the fact that the circuit breakers didn't trip is concerning and can be attributed to several potential factors. It's crucial to understand these possibilities to address the situation safely and prevent future occurrences. Firstly, defective circuit breakers are a primary suspect. Circuit breakers are mechanical devices designed to trip and interrupt the flow of electricity when they detect an overload or a short circuit. However, over time, these breakers can become faulty due to wear and tear, corrosion, or manufacturing defects. A defective breaker might fail to trip even when submerged in water, leaving the electrical panel energized and creating a dangerous situation. Secondly, another factor could be related to the level of current required to trip the breakers. Circuit breakers are designed to trip at specific current levels. If the water's conductivity is low or the fault current is insufficient, the breakers may not trip. This can happen if the water is relatively clean and doesn't contain many impurities to conduct electricity effectively. Additionally, the type and sensitivity of the breakers themselves play a role. Thirdly, the absence or malfunction of ground fault circuit interrupters, GFCIs, is also relevant. GFCIs are designed to protect against ground faults, which occur when electricity strays from its intended path and flows through unintended conductors, such as water or a person's body. GFCIs are highly sensitive and can trip quickly to prevent electrical shock. However, if the basement lacked GFCI protection or if the existing GFCIs were not functioning correctly, they wouldn't have been able to detect the ground fault caused by the floodwater, allowing the panel to remain energized. Fourthly, the height of the water in relation to the breakers is important. If the water level didn't reach the actual tripping mechanism of the circuit breakers, they might not have been directly affected and wouldn't have tripped. This highlights the importance of elevating electrical panels in flood-prone areas to prevent water from reaching critical components. Fifthly, improper wiring and grounding can also contribute to the problem. If the electrical system was not wired correctly or if the grounding was inadequate, it could create pathways that bypass the circuit breakers or prevent them from tripping effectively. This is particularly dangerous because it can create hidden hazards that are difficult to detect. When an electrical panel is submerged in water and the breakers fail to trip, the implications are severe. The most immediate concern is the risk of electrical shock. The water can become energized, posing a serious threat to anyone who comes into contact with it. Additionally, the submerged panel can cause damage to electrical appliances and equipment connected to it, leading to costly repairs or replacements. Furthermore, a flooded electrical panel can create a fire hazard, as the water can cause short circuits and overheating. To address this situation safely, the following actions should be taken immediately. Firstly, do not approach the panel or touch the water. Assume that everything is energized and dangerous. Secondly, disconnect the main power supply to the panel if it is safe to do so. This might involve shutting off the main breaker outside the flooded area or contacting the utility company to cut off power to the building. Thirdly, contact a qualified electrician to assess the damage and make necessary repairs. Do not attempt to work on the panel yourself, as this could be extremely dangerous. The electrician will inspect the panel, test the circuit breakers, and replace any damaged components. They will also ensure that the panel is properly grounded and sealed to prevent future water damage. In addition to immediate repairs, it's important to take steps to prevent future flooding. This might involve installing a sump pump, improving drainage around the building, or elevating the electrical panel above the flood line. Regular inspections of the electrical system can also help identify potential problems before they lead to a dangerous situation. To summarize, when an electrical panel is submerged in water and the breakers fail to trip, it's a serious safety hazard that requires immediate attention. Potential causes include defective circuit breakers, insufficient current, absence or malfunction of GFCIs, water level, and improper wiring or grounding. Taking prompt and appropriate action is crucial to mitigate the risks and prevent future incidents. Electrical safety should always be a top priority, especially in situations involving water and electricity.